The sun had barely risen when something strange began to happen across Nigeria. The roads were quiet. Shops didn't open. Children stayed home. Even bus drivers turned off their radios. Everyone was waiting for what would happen to the boy who shook the nation with truth. Tega. In Oso Rock, the president sat in a large room filled with important people. The walls were quiet, but the voices were loud. "He embarrassed us," one minister shouted. "He made the whole world laugh at us." The EFCC boss, Mr. Dawodu, slammed the table. "We must arrest him. Today." But the president didn't move. He looked out the window and said calmly, "No. Not yet. Let's not act like they expect. Let's do something they won't see coming." Far away, Tega was in a small, hidden compound with Halima, Musa, and 2 other teammates. The room was quiet. Everyone waited for Tega to speak. Finally, he stood up. "It's time," he said. Halima looked confused. "Time for what?" Tega looked serious. "Time to give back the $50 to that white man. I don't want anything hanging over me anymore." Halima blinked. Then she smiled. "I'll do it now." She opened her laptop. Her fingers moved fast. After a few minutes, they heard a beep. A message appeared on the screen. "Thank you. I'm withdrawing my case." Musa gasped. Wait, he actually dropped the case. Everyone looked at Tega. He just nodded slowly. It's only the beginning. But the biggest surprise came later that day. The EFCC made a public post. Everyone's phones buzzed at once. The message read, "We are giving 15 million Nigerian nairas to Mama Tega. She is not a criminal. She is a mother." People couldn't believe it. Women cried in the markets. Men danced in the streets. Online, people wrote, "Finally. A little justice." Some people dropped to their knees and prayed. At her small house, Mama Tega sat on a wooden bench. A reporter asked, "How do you feel?" Her eyes were red. She looked at the camera and said, "My son made mistakes. But he speaks the truth. And I raised him with love. I didn't know it would shake the whole world." Meanwhile, Tega watched the news in silence. He turned to Halima and said, I think it's time for me to face them." Halima jumped up. "What? No. You just got the world on your side. You'll be safe if you just stay hidden." Tega shook his head. "That's not the kind of safety I want. I want peace. I want my hands clean. And I want to walk in the open, without fear." Musa stood. "Are you sure, bro?" Tega nodded. Outside, people continued celebrating. Some held signs. Some lit candles. Others prayed. But in one room, one young man made a powerful choice. Not to hide. Not to run. But to step forward. Into whatever came next. The sun was hot. The air was still. And all eyes were on one boy. Tega stood at the door of the compound. His white shirt was clean. His shoes were dusty. But his heart was steady. Halima stood in front of him, eyes full of tears. "Are you really going to do this?" she asked. Tega nodded. "I have to." They gave Mama the money. They dropped the case. "Now it's my turn." Musa stepped forward. "But what if they hate you?" Tega looked up. "Then I'll stand and face it. But I won't live hiding anymore." He hugged Halima. He hugged Musa. Then he walked out. The streets were not empty. People were already outside, watching, waiting. Some held up signs, "We stand with Tega." As he walked, more people followed. When he reached the EFCC gate, cameras were flashing. Phones were up. Reporters called his name. He raised both hands. "I am not here to run," he said. "I'm here to speak. And to be seen." Two EFCC officers walked toward him. One of them, Officer Lei, brought out handcuffs. He looked at Tega, then paused. "You sure about this, boy?" Tega nodded. "I'm ready." They cuffed him gently. Not roughly. Not like a thief. Like someone they respected. They opened the black SUV. Tega entered quietly. Inside, Mr. Dawodu sat waiting. The door closed. Silence. Dawodu looked at Tega. His face was hard. "Why did you come back?" he asked. Tega met his eyes. "Because I'm not afraid of the truth anymore." Dawodu didn't smile. But he didn't speak again either. The car moved slowly through the crowd. People clapped. They didn't throw stones. They didn't cry. They simply stood tall and watched. Because the boy who once ran had chosen to return. Not for money. Not for fame. But for peace. And the whole country knew something big was about to happen. The room was cold. The lights were always on. And the silence was heavy. Tega sat on a wooden bench inside the EFCC cell. His hands were cuffed. But his heart was calm. 3 days had passed. He had not seen the sun. He had not heard from his mother. He had not heard from Halima. But he waited. He believed. Outside, the world was loud. The white man who was once angry had now changed. He wrote a letter. "This boy returned my $50. He apologized. I forgive him. I am dropping my case." The letter was sent to EFCC. To the courts. To the president. People on the internet celebrated again. "Case closed," someone tweeted. "Justice won," another said. In Oso Rock, the president watched it all. He called his media team. And then he called the news stations. That night, at 7 p.m., he came on live TV. He looked serious. But calm. And he spoke slowly. "Tega Ugochukwu will be released. Because in our country, telling the truth is not a crime." Outside the EFCC building, a big crowd had gathered. People held candles. Some held flags. Some held signs that said, "The system didn't break him. We are all Tega." When the gates finally opened, a black SUV rolled out. The door opened. Tega stepped out. He looked around. He looked up at the sky. He closed his eyes. He was free. And Nigeria cheered. The wind was soft that morning. Birds chirped quietly. But the streets of Lagos were not quiet. People walked faster than usual. Something had changed. Tega was out. He had walked through fire and came out with his head high. He had faced the law. Faced shame. And now, he walked free. But he wasn't the same. At Mama Tega's house, neighbors gathered. They brought food, flowers, even song. "Mama, your son is a hero," one woman said. Mama Tega smiled with wet eyes. "I only raised the boy to fear God and speak truth." Then they heard a knock. She opened the door. There he stood. Tega. She held him so tight he could barely breathe. "I thought I lost you," she cried. "You didn't," he whispered. "I found myself instead." That same evening, a school invited Tega to speak. Hundreds of students sat in rows, wide-eyed. He stood on the stage. No fancy suit. No big speech. Just a young man with a steady voice. "When I was in prison," he said, "I thought I was done. But I realized something. If I don't talk, others like me will suffer in silence." He paused. Never let your voice die. Even if the world tells you to be quiet. The students clapped. Some even cried. One small boy stood up and shouted, "I want to be like you." Tega smiled. "Be better than me. Be brave." Halima met him after the event. She was holding something. A file. "What's that?" Tega asked. "A plan," she said. "For the movement." Together, they had started a group, Young Eyes Nigeria. It trained youth to fight corruption, to film bad acts, to protect the truth. They didn't use weapons. Just cameras, voices, and courage. But not everyone was happy. Late one night, Tega got a call. A man's voice said, "You think this is over? Watch your back." Halima grabbed the phone and ended the call. "They are scared," she said. "That means we are winning." The next day, something surprising happened. The same senator who once called Tega a liar resigned. He said in a press meeting, "The youth are watching. I can't continue with stained hands." It was the first of many. One by one, corrupt leaders stepped down. Fear had changed sides. Months later, Tega was invited to speak at the United Nations. He stood before presidents, kings, and cameras. He told his story, not just about $50 or prison, but about hope, about a mother's prayer, and about the fire inside every young voice. When he finished, the room stood up and clapped. But all Tega could think about was his mother. That night, in his quiet room, he called her. "Mama," he said, "I didn't win a medal. I didn't get rich. But the world listened." She laughed. "That's more than enough." Then she whispered a prayer for him. And the fire in Tega's heart burned brighter. Because he knew the fight was not over. But he was no longer running. He was leading. And the whole world was watching.